So the big news, of course, we got this from KTLA. Trump campaign not viewing Coachella incident as an assassination attempt. You may have heard the story. And it's tough because when the Ryan Ruth story came down, this was in Florida, media immediately came out and said, this is not an assassination attempt. Stop spreading misinformation. Liberals were coming out saying, oh, it's not true. And then not only was it true, but this dude, Ryan Ruth, wrote up a letter offering a bounty and other crazy things pertaining to, I try to be careful here, but threats on Trump's life. So when this story drops, the concerns we have now is the media is going to deny it. They're going to say, no, no, no. And it might be something serious. But now it's turning out this guy, Vem Miller, 49, he's actually tweeted. Several people have said this is his Twitter account. He's a Trump supporter. He is diehard Trump. The story goes that he had actual VIP passes to the Coachella rally. And he stops at a checkpoint. He has a loaded shotgun and a handgun. And the sheriff checks his car and is just like, okay, this guy's up to no good. Checks his passports, claims the guy's got fake passes. He claims they're real. I don't know what's true, man. But he says apparently he's got fake passports too. This guy, Vem, says that his passport's real. It's Armenian. So he's got a foreign passport as well with his full Armenian name on it. It's not fake. The story is absolutely wild. He was released on $5,000 bail later that day and is scheduled to appear in court on January 2nd, 2025. Apparently, they're saying this is just a gun charge. But the sheriff went on TV and has done a bunch of interviews saying, I believe we stopped an assassination attempt. Now, this sheriff attended the RNC and is apparently also a Trump supporter. I'm going to go ahead and say I do not believe this was an assassination attempt. And it's kind of strange that the corporate press is still running the narrative largely that it was, because I feel like that benefits Trump. I don't know what you guys think.
I think they don't know what to make of this story. I mean, to me, as more and more information came out about it, the sheriff or maybe any sheriff's department that is in charge of or helping with security at a Trump rally are on edge right now. No one wants to be Butler 2.0, where there is another attempt on Trump's life that results in gunfire, on their watch. And so I could understand where it is a situation where they were maybe more aggressive with what was going on than they would have been. On the other hand, it is unusual for the media to keep going with the assassination attempt narrative. And in part, I think that's because they just do not know what to make of this situation. I mean, at first there were reports that, he was a sovereign citizen, he had a fake pass and like all this kinds of stuff. And so I think there is a level of the assassination attempts get clicks. Like that headline makes people read the story. And I think corporate press is really out for itself.
Yeah, I think it's likely that the boring story is the most close to true. And I think that the media just, tries to add context as they hope to get more clicks and stuff. Yeah. And look, I mean, it's not like the media is known, modern media is known for being, honest and shooting straight. If they can slime people on the right, they're going to do it. So, you don't hate the media enough. So
I think Trump assassination equals clicks, equals ad sales.
Absolutely. I mean, I saw interview with him, I think, this morning, and he just said, I got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I travel with guns, and I crossed into California.
I mean, well, let's just say this. Look, I'm a big 2A. I'm probably one of the craziest 2A guys out there, but I don't think anybody should be bringing loaded weapons to a Trump rally.
Absolutely.
And I get it. Exactly. And there's going to be a lot of people who say, look, I have a right to keep and bear arms and I can bring them where I please. And I'm like, yeah, but people are trying to kill Donald Trump. So maybe you just don't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just, some tact.
Yeah, you have the right, and I get there are people that are going to go ahead and say, well, I'm exercising my right. Well, you're also exercising your right to be a jerk. Kind of like, I mean, if that's all you're doing is just being like, well, Donald Trump's there and I have a right. It's like, look, man, people are on edge already. There's been 2 official attempts on the guy's life. There's been at least, there was the dude that jumped up on stage that Secret Service had to actually grab. There's been plots on the guy's life. Like, if you're a supporter of Trump, like, use your head. You got the right, but you also have the right to be a real.
Somebody just chatted that they were forced to watch a Kamala for President ad on this stream. Condolences. Oh. And it's brutal because back in the day, you chose which ads you'd read. You know, for real shows, it'd be like, okay, we'll see who our sponsor is and we'll say yes or no. Now on YouTube, it's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny because I'm more than happy to say Kamala Harris is awful. Do not vote for her. I think she is bad for this country. Donald Trump is literally risking his life at this point with, I mean, it may be an assassination attempt. We don't know. This guy, Van Miller, I don't know him. He follows me. And he's got 17,000 followers. He's saying it's not, and that may be the case, but some people are suggesting maybe it was plausible deniability.
Yeah.
That it was set up so that if caught, it would look like it wasn't, or you could have some deniability. But I'm leaning towards it's probably not. But that being said, if the Harris campaign came to me and said we'd like to sponsor your show, I'd say get bent. And
If she asked to appear on the show, would you have her on?
absolutely, yeah, no question. I heard she's going to do Fox News. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, Brett Baer.
Brett's great. She's going to get.
He's a
she's gonna get
straight shooter.
destroyed.
You know, hopefully he does ask her, you know, some hard questions, and I mean, there's a whole plethora of questions that to Kamala Harris are difficult and hard to answer for. So hopefully he pushes.
Can't answer anything.
And he said that he's not. I read a report that he had said that he's not giving her the questions beforehand. So I'm sure that will be challenging for her as well.
I'm a fan of Brett Baer. I think he's a good dude. I think he to a detriment. He does the news job the best of his abilities, and sometimes you wish he'd push back more. But that's what you get with like an actual news guy. And it's funny too because Fox News, like Bill Hemmer and Brett Baer are great. Who's on with Bill Hemmer? That woman. I forget her name. I feel bad because she's good too. It's like America's News Hour. It's very straightforward, non-opinion, just regular news.
Yes,
it's very good stuff.
I can see in my head, but I don't remember her name.
And then you watch all these other channels, and it's all garbled lies and manipulation. Man, I was watching Anderson Cooper. I was watching CNN over the weekend because I'm like, Steve Bannon is right. We got to watch this stuff. We can't ignore it. And it was crazy to see the lies. I watched some Bill Maher. Bill Maher said Donald Trump called for Kamala Harris to be impeached and arrested for appearing on CBS. No, he did not. He said the collusion with a major media network to manipulate her answers for positive coverage to help her in an election should be illegal, and she should drop out because of it. But they lie about everything. It's crazy.
That's how I feel watching the ABC morning show. It's like they are in a complete parallel universe where some of the names are familiar, but most of the details are completely different. But I do think it's interesting that Kamala is going to appear on Fox News, in part because it comes, like the announcement that she's going to do that comes days after this bipartisan council where she's saying, oh, you know, I'm going to assemble. I'm not only going to have a Republican in my cabinet, which she went from moved on that from I would consider having one to I'm definitely going to have a Republican in my cabinet. And now she's proposing she'll have this council where she gets to hear from, I don't know, the other side of the aisle. Of course, we know she'd pick like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. I don't think the Republicans actually feel represented. But it does mean that some of the appeals that they have been brushing off, like Trump bringing on RFK, Tulsi, having some sort of independent support, is actually polling well, or it seems to be working with voters because now she's copying him.
I have to backtrack. I have to issue a correction. I mean, correction is not the right word, but I'm thinking about it now because I'm looking at people talking about the Kamala ads. If the Harris campaign came to us and offered an ad spot, wanted to buy an ad spot, I would say yes. And I was thinking about it's because even Fox News runs ads from the Harris campaign, but it's an opportunity to counter what those messages are. So if they did come to me and say, hey, we want you to play this 30-second or minute-long ad for Kamala at the beginning of the show, I'd be like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then I would analyze the whole ad, and as soon as it was over, I'd be like, now let's rip that thing to shreds. I would preface the ad with, now we're going to play an ad from the Harris campaign who bought the spot. Stick around afterwards because we're going to dissect it and then take the opportunity. I do think it's kind of silly for me to be like every major network doing shows that are even critical, like Laura Ingraham on Fox News, very critical. All their opinion people are. And then to outright be like, we wouldn't either. My view is kind of like maybe you want to take their money and use that against them. Like, fine, give me the money. We'll get to fund the show. Because my attitude right now is the ads run no matter what. We don't really have say in it. Right. But we're ragging on her, so what do I care? Fine, give me more money, and then people are going to watch, they're going to hate you, and then we're going to complain about you.
Bill Hemmer's co-host is Dana Perino. She used to be...
Wait, Perino is?
I think so, Dana Perino, yeah. She used to be George W. Bush's for a while.
Are you sure about that?
That's what our secret producer has informed me.
You're right, it is. Because there was someone else before. It used to be someone else. And I think she must have just left. Yeah, it is Perino now.
I'm a fan.
Well, she's great too.
Yeah, she
is.
Dogs.
Oh, yeah?
She has great
Well,
dogs.
I like the 5.
Yep.
You know, Jesse Waters and Gutfeld at the same time is fantastic. Those guys did a good
yeah.
show. Big fan. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, so whether or not someone tried to kill Trump again.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are saying that Van Miller put out a video statement saying the body camera footage is going to prove it's bunk.
Yeah.
So
They said he had fake press.
but what does that
credentials.
mean? What does it mean, fake press?
I don't know.
Right? Like,
You don't even know what to believe anymore half the
well, no,
time.
like what's a real press credential?
Yeah.
Like ABC News can make one and claim it's real?
Yeah.
And then we're going to say yes to that? Nah, it's BS. They claimed he had fake passes in general, like VIP passes,
Right.
but he's saying he had real ones. I mean, that's going to be easy to prove.
Wouldn't his comms team pass out press passes that are official? Like, I don't know how it works for.
Well, it's
know.
it's I don't. Are they talking about the rally press passes, or are they saying he had a press pass, like he made his own?
Yeah, I don't know.
If they're fake, that's easy to prove, and this is a fishy story.
Right.
So we will see. But I don't trust nobody. This guy's saying he's not a part of any sovereign citizen movement, and that's all lies and all manipulations. I think what it may be is, as Hannah Claire was mentioning earlier, everybody's on edge. And so I think it's fair to say we can call this one a bad hair day because it sounds like the sheriff was doing a good job in that he saw a guy with a passport with a name that didn't look right. The passes didn't seem real, and he had loaded weapons. I think that person should be turned around.
Absolutely.
Because what's going to happen is, I mean, this Crooks dude in Butler is able to get a gun into the rally because they were too lax. Don't bring weapons to a presidential rally, man.
Yep.
I mean, look, the 2A absolutist people.
A gun, a range finder.
Yeah.
Come on,
real.
man.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It's just a bad idea, especially, in today's climate. Like, don't bring it to the rally. Just don't bring it.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.